In May 2026, Prime Minister Narendra Modi issued a national address that replaced physical lockdown orders with a sudden lockdown on citizen spending. He outlined 7 specific appeals: prioritize working from home, reduce fuel consumption, postpone gold purchases for 1 year, and cancel all foreign travel. This chart shows how the markets responded. The Sensex plummeted by 1,300 points, while airline and jewelry stocks went into a steep dive immediately following the broadcast. The administration intended to mobilize economic patriotism, but the specific nature of the demands triggered immediate financial panic and widespread confusion. That confusion deepened as the public noticed a sharp contrast in behavior. While citizens were urged to stay home and carpool, the Prime Minister continued a series of massive multi-city motorcade roadshows across Gujarat. While families were asked to cancel vacations to conserve fuel and currency, the government continued using chartered election flights and finalized plans for a major 7-nation diplomatic tour. When official directives for civilian sacrifice are met with high-profile exemptions for political leadership, the public's focus shifts from national duty to the inconsistency of the message. This double standard suggests a strategic reliance on public restraint to offset a crisis that the state's own political machinery continues to fuel. The driver behind these appeals is located in the Strait of Hormuz. A violent conflict between the U.S. and Iran has effectively blockaded a maritime passage that handles 20. Brent crude oil surged past $120 a barrel, while the Indian rupee dropped to a record low of 94.9 against the dollar. As oil prices rise, foreign exchange reserves are rapidly depleting just to cover these essential energy imports. To manage this, the government has adopted participatory crisis management, an attempt to use individual civilian choices to plug a massive macroeconomic hole. These 7 appeals function as a tactical maneuver to suppress domestic demand and slow the outflow of dollars. Opposition leaders characterize these appeals as an admission of failure, arguing they shift energy security burdens onto citizens already facing stagnant wages and high debt. Halting gold purchases creates a specific domestic trade-off. It reduces imports, but directly threatens the jobs of 4 million people in India's jewelry sector. Farmers face a similar pressure. They are being asked to halve their use of chemical fertilizers to save import costs, forcing agricultural labor to absorb the impact of the global energy shock. Even as the public is told to cut back, the state is moving forward with large-scale projects like massive residential skyscrapers in Hyderabad. By sacrificing domestic industries to preserve foreign currency, the government risks converting an external supply disruption into a self-inflicted domestic recession. This climate has shifted public sentiment. On social media, the prevailing concern is that the current economic stability cannot be maintained. When citizens receive contradictory signals, told the economy is resilient while being asked to freeze their spending, they often react defensively by hoarding cash and reducing consumption. This erosion of confidence leads to capital flight and undermines long-term market sentiment. The math suggests that individual behavioral changes, like taking the metro or skipping a vacation, are not sufficient to fix a structural deficit in foreign exchange. Long-term resilience depends on structural energy independence and transparent leadership, rather than temporary, voluntary austerity. When leadership asks the public to tighten their belts while keeping their own loose, they risk turning a manageable foreign exchange shock into a crisis of public trust.